Hey guys, it's me Amanda, and I want to talk about a very important topic and something I'm so glad to be over. I am done hating myself. Oh my god. Oh, it's the best feeling ever. Because if you haven't noticed, I went through anorexic. What that is when you have a body image issue or you feel like you're constantly ugly and you're not good enough. And oh my god, I hated that feeling so bad. Now, I know it hasn't been long for me. I think it has been sort of like a year and a half. I think. I'm not very good with timing, hey. So, I just want to say like my experience with it, and hopefully it will help you to overcome this. And I actually talked to some of my followers that actually have problems with this, and I always tell them this: one day we are going to look at ourselves in the mirror and feel, why did I feel so ugly about myself? I look good. I'm beautiful. Um, it's a terrible feeling ever. Oh my god. I was literally to the point where I hated myself so much that I would literally be disgusted with myself and go into this like depression where I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror at all, and I was just I totally hated everything about myself, and it was terrible, and I hate that feeling. It was not a very good feeling at all, and no one should ever go through it. Um, how I got rid of it, I really don't know. I think it was just I was tired of feeling this way, and I really didn't want to do this anymore, and it was so stupid. And, a lot of people think, now I have to tell you this, when I first began to realize that maybe I have anorexic, oh my god, I shook and I cried, and and my mom and dad had to comfort me because I was scared shitless at the dot. Because I watched an old YouTube video. I don't know if you ever heard this one. It's a British TV show, probably out, probably not on air anymore. It's Too Big or Too Small, I think. And what they do is they show like people that are too like big, like that are obese, and too small that have anorexic or sometimes people that just don't have enough time or day to eat. And there was this one teenage boy, he was 17 and he wanted to be a fashion designer. And it was weird, me and him, we went through the exact same thing, where we felt we weren't skinny enough, and when people complimented us, we didn't believe it. We just thought they were being nice to us because, well, that's what people are supposed to do. So when I realized that maybe I may have had this, I literally shook, and my hands shook a lot. When I actually went out to eat before this, and I you don't know what I want to do to that guy. I wanted to hug him so bad and be like, baby, come here, because I know what you're going through. And, it was terrible. It's not a fun feeling, and I know how it feels, and it sucks that I really had no one to understand, but I had, like, parents who cared that wouldn't let me go that far over the limit where I would literally starve myself. They would force me to eat sometimes because they know I was hungry. And I'm not doing that again where I'm not gonna eat no more. I would literally go out days while eating. All I would have is like a piece of toast, and that was my breakfast. And never again. Never again. But, no, it's just that when I first came to the conclusion that maybe I had anorexic, it was like the scariest thing ever. Because I just thought I was like on a diet. But I never came to me that maybe I was taking this too extreme. Another thing that really bothered me when I was like out and like I wouldn't eat a lot, people would be like, "Why are you not eating so much?" And I'd be like, "Oh," um, and I would literally tell them, "Oh, I have anorexic," and like like sometimes I would just say it like I'm on a diet, and my mom would go out of nowhere. Sometimes I wouldn't always say like I'm anorexic. Sometimes my mom would come out of nowhere and just be like, "Oh, she is anorexic." Like I would just say like I'm dying. She would come out of nowhere say she's anorexic, and I swear to God, people would be like, "Oh, you're doing it for attention." Oh, and that would hurt me in some way. I didn't realize it till now that those people didn't think I was doing it. They thought I was doing this for attention. And I can understand now that doesn't bother me too much, but it bothered me that people like that went through what I went through. Do you know how hard it must have been for that if someone just told them that they were just doing this for attention? And my mom sometimes thinks like I did it for to impress a guy or something, or to like impress people. Let me tell you something about anorexic. You don't do it for anyone but yourself. Like you're not losing this weight or trying to prove yourself for anyone but yourself. Because how can you expect someone to love you when you don't even love yourself? And that would be so selfish of me to ask someone, hey, can you love me even though I hate myself and I probably never will love myself? That's like the hardest thing to ever do. And that's not easy for someone to be with. So my mom thought that's what I was doing. And no, it's not. Anyone who goes through this is never for anyone else. It's for your own self. You want to feel pretty. Like, you want to feel beautiful for once. I hated that feeling with a firing passion because I would go into depression. I would literally hate myself to the point where if I looked into the mirror, I would just be disgusted with myself, and it was terrible. And I don't want to go through it ever again. So I'm glad I'm over it. Over it. So here's my advice to you: there really is nothing you can do to like change your thoughts. Like I realized this. I left it alone. And I guess like with the new year came, I was like I wanted to have more of a positive start. So I kind of was like, okay, I think I'm done with this. But if you're like me where you were to the point where you didn't want to feel like this anymore, then stop. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy. It's like really, really hard, but please find something that can make you stop. Like I always tell my followers this. Like, um, please like look at what you really like about yourself. Like the one thing that you really like. Back then it was my personality. Uh, but find something that you really like about yourself and focus on that. Focus really hard on that, and then it will like go everywhere. Like, oh, my hair, my shoulders, my butt, my legs, they're awesome. So yes, please try to like find something that you really like about yourself. I guess this I don't know how this video is like supposed to be. I don't know if this is more like my story of how I accomplished my my anorexic, or how I like try to stop hating myself, or I'm not really sure how to give advice because a lot of people have different ways of dealing with this. I had different ways. I just said, you know what, I'm done. I can't do it. But other people have different ways, so it takes time. And like I said, it took time for me. Like I would tell everyone this. Like one day I'm gonna look at myself and be happy, and well, that days were now. So we all have our different days, and I'm sure we'll all find them. Please, if you're to the point where you're like literally just bones and ribs, and you can see that, please, 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 please stop. You have to, please don't do it. It's not worth it. That's not pretty at all. That is not even gonna help you feel beautiful. That's just no. And I know it's hard because our minds play it where our minds play with us, but it's not. It's not beautiful. You're beautiful just the way you are. You're beautiful on the inside and outside, so please don't ever feel like that. And I know you're gonna think I'm faking, but trust me, with a person that went through anorexic, I know how it feels. And I know you're gonna say, I'm only doing it, or I'm only saying it to be nice. No. I don't care if you have buck teeth, uh, um, a big fat nose, or you're way this much, if you're this big. I still think you're beautiful. And you gotta understand something. You are beautiful. But your appearance doesn't always matter. And if you say, oh no, my personality, if I don't have a beautiful body or a beautiful face, no one's gonna like me, even with my good personality. That's not true. More people appreciate you for you than what you look like. So please, don't ever do that to yourself. It's not worth it. It's not worth going through all this pain. It really isn't. And I get mad when my mom told me I would literally just do this for attention. And you never do this for attention, honey. You do this for yourself because you want to feel beautiful, right? You want someone to tell you how beautiful and skinny you are. But when they do, it reflects back and they're just like they are saying this just be nice. You only have yourself to make happy. So please find something to make you happy or do anything to stop this. Food is not your enemy. Really it isn't. It's the best thing in the world. And you can eat as much as you like. Don't let any asshole tell you that you need to lose weight or you need to be beautiful. And if it's yourself, just realize this is not fun to go through. It isn't. It really, really isn't. I used to have been way bigger than I was before. I used to have been this fat, this chunky, where my stomach would go like this. And if you have like a belly that goes like that, you're not fat, you're not chunky. I'm sorry, that's just the way people would say it, like society would put it. And don't feel just because like don't I know how it feels like every time a girl walks by you, they're way more prettier than you. No, you're just as beautiful as that other girl. And you don't ever compare yourself because you'll always lose if you compare yourself to others. Not because they're beautifuler than you, but because you think they're beautiful than you. And trust me, I used to be competitive. I used to compete with myself with every girl I walked by and be like, she's beautifuler than me. That's not true. I'm just as beautiful as that girl. Hell, I'm sexier than that girl. So what if I don't have a flat stomach? So what if I don't have the biggest breast in the world or the nicest legs? Who cares? It's not important. As long as I'm happy with myself and as long as I'm a good person, that should all that matters. So I'm just saying, before you think I'm faking this and I'll never look at anorexic, please, I have. And I know what it feels like. You constantly worry about food going in your mouth. You don't want to eat because you feel just one bite of something and you're going to be fat. You feel that every time you pass by anyone, they're way more beautiful than you. If you don't have this flat stomach, you don't feel skinny and you feel average. And hell, I even went through this where even like when someone had like a bigger stomach than me, I still see them more skinnier than me. So I was really bad. So please, talk to someone about this. Don't leave this. And I don't care if you feel like troubling anyone. You need help. It's not. I was lucky enough that I could stop this before I got any worse. But you have to try and help yourself. Please, please, I am begging you. Don't ever do this. It's not worth it. You don't want to go through this pain. I love you, and you're very beautiful. So I hope you I'm sorry this wasn't much help, but I decided to make this. It was intended. I was gonna make this video, but I took a little while. Things happen, you know. I've been depressed and I've been thinking a lot lately, so I'm sorry I couldn't make this video and I hope this helps you. Bye. Beautiful.